Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company Brain here at Master Investor. If you're new to our community, ensure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live or upload a valuable talk on money, business, and investing. Today, we're going to be speaking about an investment strategy is the first step on the path to financial freedom. I also want to invite you to read our digital courses, which contains ebooks. Every book that we have written has turned into a digital course, and we are adding more assets to emphasize more on that specific volume. So take advantage, check out the links in the description so that you have access to our tools, resources. And if you'd like to have our newsletter be delivered to our inbox, straight to our email, then go ahead and subscribe to it. Go to our website. It's free. And you will be able to read at least an article of financial education when we publish one. And even if you can come to an audio on a podcast or maybe on a live stream, then you at least can read financial education. Improving our financial IQ should be a priority, because that's how we're going to be able to accomplish true wealth, which means that we have mastered money, we have mastered our finances, we can thrive in the world without worrying about running out of money or having to work to pay for our bills. In fact, we have assets that we are controlling with real assets that are producing cash flow constantly every day, even when we're not working. Those are true assets, right? They put money into our pocket. And that's how we know when something is an asset or a liability. If it's just taking money out of our pocket, then it's a liability. 401k, mutual funds, IRA, and all of those fake assets are liabilities because they don't put any money into the investor's pocket. So ensure that we get financial education. We have different mentors out there that we can have access to their knowledge through seminars, ebooks, and so much more content that we are all capable to have access to, because regardless of who we are, we have the ability to tap into the internet. And that's the difference between now and like years before, like even let's say 3 decades before and even 50 and past. It was harder to become wealthy before because the limited amount of information that we all had. Now we have literally a open river of information that we can access and pick whatever we want to use to accomplish our goals. So we need to understand why are we doing things, so that we have chosen a big enough why so that we can persevere through our obstacles that we will face along the way in this journey of entrepreneurship and investing. But the most important thing is to have an investment strategy when we start investing today, but first have an investment strategy or business plan to start with confidence. Our mission here at Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Summary: recall that acquiring wealth is a journey. Action is necessary to realize financial goals. There are no shortcuts to wealth. We must put in the effort and broaden our financial knowledge. The common Joes and Janes of the world remain after we exclude people who were wealthy by birth and lottery winners. Now, while some of these everyday Joes and Janes are struggling to make ends meet, others have succeeded in realizing their financial goals and leading fulfilling lives. How did they accomplish it? Most likely through a series of investments which might have been made in the stock market, real estate, their own company idea, or anything else. Did this occur overnight? Very unlikely. Let's contrast it with something that most of us have probably all experienced: the desire to shed a few pounds. If we choose to lose weight naturally, or even get in shape, right? Because maybe you are somebody that is thin by nature and you just want to gain some weight. So if you're overweight, then you want to lose weight. But whatever it is, we want to gain muscle, right? That's the ultimate goal when we go to the gym, is to tone our bodies up into the point where we have less fat and we have more muscle. Okay, so everybody's built different, and same thing with wealth. We have to go at our own pace, and today is easier than ever to get wealthy because of the information. However, if we choose to lose weight naturally, it will require dedication and work. We don't simply go to sleep and wake up toned and lean. Rather, we engage in regular exercise, we alter our eating habits, we eventually begin to see the fruits of our labor. The, the same applies to investing. Regretfully, there's no magic bullet for being wealthy fast except investing in our financial education and expanding our business vocabulary. Those things are free, like we're doing right now. Whoever's listening to our podcast or watching us here on our live stream on YouTube or any other platform, or reading our articles and tapping into our content, that is free, right? And we have the ability to use the content and turn it into our own knowledge, but we have to apply it in our lives. That's how we can turn somebody else's knowledge into our knowledge. But if it's somebody else's knowledge, if we don't do anything with it in our lives, then it just remains somebody else's knowledge. It's not our knowledge. So we need to make sure that whatever we're reading, listening to, we are applying in our lives. That's why it's important that we choose wisely what we are consuming daily. And it's not just about consuming, but about producing. Whatever we're learning, let's give a message to the world. If you don't like to do videos, put it in a different type of content, right? Express yourself, because you never know who you can help along the way. It's important that we also go back and teach other people how we did what we did, because we can always hone down on the basics. And even though it may seem unnecessary to repeat ourselves and understanding even more about the foundation of building true wealth, right? Even though we are successful already, we have to learn how to go back always to the basics and hone our craft all the way like it was the first day. Okay, so make sure that we understand that investing is a sport, and it's won by playing in a team. So who is our team? Who are we listening to? Our mentors, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be with somebody every day. That doesn't mean building a business. You can build a business right from home, right from the comfort of your place where you reside today, right? From the phone, we have the ability to create a digital website within seconds and put our products in there. So we can build a team remotely. We can have people that are taking a look at what we're doing and helping us build a brand, doing marketing. We have freelancers. We're using skills of delegation so that we can focus on what matters, and which is building and working for passive income. So we need to build an investment, go into the next one, build that one, go into the next one, right? Because an investment, when we build it, when we acquire a true investment, is going to produce passive income right now. We have to receive passive income. Okay, so we are financial investors. We are active investors. We understand how to read financial statements. We maintain composure. We control our emotions. We understand how to improve financial statements. In other words, when a company is mismanaged, we can actually see things that the current owner is not doing that we will implement when we take over to improve the bottom line. And a lot of times it's good when we find mismanaged investments, right? Because we have a lot of opportunity to grow and scale that business. But make sure that we have scalability, we have leverage, we have control when we talk about investing and controlling investments, right? We need to do business with our companies. We don't give our money away to anybody to invest it for us, because we have financial education and we hone down on what matters for our best interest. That is self-discipline, that is self-love. The more loving we are with ourselves, that means that more disciplined we are, because we know that's unhealthy. We're not going to take that. We're not going to eat that, because it's going to harm our body, our temple. And so we're going to focus on putting things in our body, in our mind, in our ears that are healthy, that are good, that are empowering, that are self-improvement for our minds. And we are going to be in this journey of constantly growing for the better of ourselves, right? For the best interest, how we're going to optimize our lives. A lot of people check out of this life without ever even scratching the surface of what they could have done. So don't think for 1 second that opportunities will always come along the way. They do come, they pass by, but we need to take action. Okay, we need to make sure that we are constantly building our wealth, that we are investing, that we're not giving and we're not being passive about investing. A lot of people are passive about investing, and I see it all the time. They focus on building their earned income. They want a high paying job. If they could take 3, 4, 5 jobs. That's how addictive they are to a paycheck and to working for money, thinking that more money through earned income is going to solve their financial problems. And it's not, because usually the person that is in financial trouble, even though they have a high paying job, is because they like to spend money in luxury things or other things that are for pleasure only, that are things that don't bring any cash flow. Okay. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. We never talk about shrinking in here, right? We actually talk about expanding our expenses, our liabilities, but primarily our assets column need to be expanded so that we can do that successfully without worrying about the lack of money or running out of money or working harder to pay for the bills. No, we can actually create any expense because we have cash flow coming in that is paying for that expense, for that liability, whatever we want. If we want a new liability, then we create an asset. We are acquiring assets all the time. That's why rule number 1 in our community here at Master Investors is that we work to build passive income and make money work hard for us through sound investing. If a person is giving their entire time to somebody else to work for them, doing a certain task at their company, right? Somebody else's company, that person has given majority of their power to create wealth. Because we need time to understand how to build wealth. We need to understand the history of money. We need to go back to when the new rules of money emerge, why they change. The laws have changed, right? So we need to know a little bit about everything when it comes to building wealth, but we need to visit those events because that is what is going to help us have the context of the wealthy, which is more important than a content, right? A lot of people focus on content, focus on context. What type of context are we operating with? 2 types of mindset when it comes to money. Wealthy versus poor. The wealthy has a wealthy class and the poor has the middle and poor class. It's just a way of approaching money and the way they work for money, right? Here on our community, we focus on operating on the right side of the cash flow circle, which means that we are focusing on acquiring businesses or building businesses from scratch, right? That turn into brands that are producing passive income. So being a business owner, right? And then an inside investor, which is a capitalist, which is the highest level of an investor, which is the ultimate investor, which is a master investor. Okay, that's an inside investor. We're closest to the deal. We are the deal. We control the deal, right? We put together the deal. We have assets and it's a system of systems, but we brought the deal together so we can raise capital. So an inside investor, we make money work hard through sound investing. We multiply. Right? So we're always looking to invest. We're always looking to spend money. That's why savers are losers, because it goes against what an inside investor should do, which is spend money wisely all the time, as much as possible. And we want to spend in a liability, then we make sure that we have an asset that will cover for that liability's expense. So it's free at the end of the day. It's how we make the money that determines whether we are on the path to building wealth or not. A lot of people focus only on earned income, and that's the main problem. Why they are stuck in the rat race, because they're looking for a high-paying job, and they feel secure, they have benefits, they have a routine, as many call it, and they feel like they're going somewhere in life because they're busy with their time physically working for somebody else's business. So one of the key points that I want to make, one of the main points that I want to give to our community today is that we must mind our own business in order to build true wealth, which means that we have total freedom. A lot of people will end their life without experiencing total freedom. And what a shame, because all they had to do was master money and make money their slave. And we are born to do that, right? We're not born to have money tell us what to do. Majority of people are confused about how money is created today with the new economy, which is created with debt. Money is debt. Debt is money. So we must treat credit cards like we treat cash. Debt is king. Positive cash flow is king, right? So combining investing with debt is king, because we're minimizing taxes, because debt is created with money. Therefore, debt is tax-free according to the law. So all debt is tax-free. And then when we use it to invest in passive income and we're generating passive income, then passive income is the lowest income, tax income that exists out of the three incomes that we can build, which are earned income is taxed at the highest bracket. That comes from working at a job and receiving a paycheck from an employer. That is called earned or ordinary income or active income, right? If you have a salary, right? So that's the income that is taxed at the highest bracket. The next type of income comes from investing, which is capital gains income. And capital gains income is taxed at a lower bracket than earned income. And then we have passive income, which also comes from investing. So two types of income comes from investing, and then the other one comes from working for money, working at a job. So wealth is built with passive income and capital gains income. Specifically passive income, because that's where we tap into total freedom. Remember, capital gains income is when we buy something at a certain price and we sell it at a higher price. Those gains are capital gains income. Usually they are taxed. However, there are occasions where we can utilize the tax code to minimize it all the way to zero, because we will defer the taxes to a later day, because we roll over the capital gains into a bigger asset that is producing passive income, or right, and that we're going to take control over it, and we have to follow the requirements in order to take advantage of those tax benefits. But there are many occasions where we can also minimize capital gains income to zero. So the best way to build wealth, and the only way to build wealth, is to focus on building passive income, because it requires a high level of financial education. And when we do that, capital gains income will also come along the way, because not all asset classes will bring capital gains income. Not all assets will bring in passive income. Some of them will bring capital gains income. So we will know exactly what type of income we will get before we even invest, because we're not only going to have an investment strategy, but we can determine whether that investment is a passive income investment or a capital gains income investment. So becoming wealthy can happen fast. It doesn't require us to take a long time to become wealthy like it used to be, because we have access to the information. So we can actually reverse engineer anybody's success. Before technology was a thing, it was not possible to go to bed one night and wake up wealthy the next. Now we can wake up and be wealthy, but we must have an investment strategy draw out. These approaches are rarely long-lasting, even though we may have seen promises to the contrary. Here are some pointers to bear in mind when we start our path to financial prosperity. How the wealthy mindset invest. We focus on the right side of the cash flow circle, as we can see the diagram on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're hearing this on our podcast, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, leave us a comment or any question that you may have. Reach out to us if you need help. Let's mastermind. Let's launch that next idea that you have. Let's put it in paper. Let's build an investment strategy. Our team is ready to help, and we have financial education that literally can take you step by step just by going through the chapters. Everything that we do here is to build our asset column and to honor rule number one in our community, which is that we work to build passive income and make money work hard through sound investing. Learn to invest like the wealthy by becoming a business owner and inside investor, operating from the right side of the cash flow circle. When an individual wants to become wealthy, then we must start minding our own business. Majority of people in the world mind other people's businesses, and in doing so, those people neglect their own ability to mind their own business to change the world in a positive way. In other words, having two full-time jobs or a high-paying job can create income for an individual, but not freedom, nor a solution to his or her financial problems. Therefore, having a job is the main reason people will not ever become financially free and wealthy. As having a job, it hinders the ability to achieve true wealth. Having wealthy means having total freedom and not being dependent on anyone to make decisions, control over our time, decisions, and finances. Having wealth means not worrying about running out of money to pay our living expenses and any other bill, because we are thriving with the positive cash flow and capital gains income of these assets we control with our companies. And we have an investment strategy to become wealthy. We do not save, we invest to become wealthy. We only save to invest into an asset we have done due diligence on. We are good debtors. We use debt to invest for passive income. Learning how to create wealth is a journey to appreciate, as it teaches us many lessons along the way. Lessons that are key to living our dreams. The only shortcut in life is learning from others' wisdom and knowledge, but we must apply the information into our lives in order for that knowledge to be our knowledge. We should not take for granted key relationships in our lives, as they can teach us and connect us with essential moments in our path. We should make sure we only burn the appropriate bridges. Some relationships must go, but some must stay. We must choose wisely our team and who gets our time. When we have an idea, let's put it in a Word document or a piece of paper to bring that into fruition. It becomes more vivid and powerful when we write our ideas and ideal future down. The more we write, the more we achieve in life. Start with knowing what we want out of life. Then we must have an investment strategy to create positive cash flow for us. The way we can provide our time to the things we truly, that way we can provide our time to the things we truly love in this life. Creating freedom and creating our time, right? Control over our time so that we can spend our time the way we want to without having to worry about running out of money, because we have businesses and we have assets. And those assets are solving other people's problems, right? So we are solving the masses' problems. We're bringing solutions to the world. The more we give, the more generous we become, the wealthier we become. The cash flow circle is key to understand to build wealth. So on the left side, we have the employee and we have the self-employed. Has a job, right? The employee and the self-employed owns a job. And on this side of the cash flow circle, this is where people tend to go after security. They want benefits. They want to feel that they have a routine. And often we need these people in these areas, right? We need great employees. We need great professionals, okay? But for those who are there and they're feeling confused, and even those who love their job, they need to start investing as well, okay? We recommend everyone to invest in master money, because at some point, maybe it's time to retire. Maybe it's time to do the next thing. So you want to have something that produces passive income at all times, all right? That's what we want to focus on. Passive income, investments that create passive income for us. And then, of course, we will have investments that will create capital gains income. But majority of people don't have investments that create passive income. And if they have any investments, it's like they're not even creating capital gains income. They don't even know when they're going to get their money. And if they do try to invest in all the assets that produce capital gains income, a lot of times they lose money because they're listening to the wrong data. They're going based on other people's opinions instead of facts. We always say here in our community that we should always measure our return on investment with facts, not opinions. Who cares about what anybody's saying? we need to look at the financial statements of that company, of that investment, and figure out ourselves if that investment is producing cash flow enough to give us a surplus, to give us positive cash flow for us. That's our bottom line. So on the left side of the cash flow circle, people work for earned income, and they focus on that type of income, and they literally exchange their time for money. On the right side of the cash flow circle, we have the business owner and the inside investor. This is where wealth is created. This is where freedom is also achieved. Okay, so it depends on what we want out of life. Some people want security and they want a job, and they don't care about working at a job for the next 20, 30 plus years until they retire, and they don't care about missing, maybe time with their family members and so forth, because they value more their job than anything else. And that is fine. Anybody has the free will to choose what they want to. But if you're listening to this, it's because we want something out of life. We want to create an impact. We want to make sure that we leave our mark and we are producing positive companies that are giving solutions to the world, right? And we're doing philanthropy. We're giving to charity. We have investments that are helping the world become a better place, and they're turning into a brand because they have intrinsic value and business integrity. Intrinsic value means that we are protecting the company. We have legalities in order. The logo is registered. The name is trademark. We're doing business under an entity, and everything is aligned according to the law, so that we have something that is valuable that no one else can take. Our competitors cannot take what we're doing because it's unique. So if we need a patent, intellectual property, etc., that needs to be in place. And then to add business integrity, of course, the business needs to make a profit. So it needs to be a demand for the products and solutions that we're offering to the world. And we need to have a profit on that transaction every single time it's made. Saving money is a fraud. Yes, it is correct. It is quite unlikely that someone we know who is financially independent acquired their wealth through saving. Saving in today's economy is losing money. The main reason why this is not a good strategy to become wealthy is because savings requires us to pay taxes. It can't keep up with inflation, and it hinders our entrepreneurial spirit. So savings is a losing strategy. The only reason savings should be practiced is to invest. In other words, we need a down payment for a commercial real estate property, and we must put the capital together to accomplish the acquisition. Then savings will make sense because we will be saving to acquire a cash flow and asset. When looking for financial guidance, we might have heard the following: reduce our expenses, add funds to our 401k, live within our means, which is all the opposite of what we tell everyone inside of our community at Master Investor. We actually tell all of us to expand our assets column so that we can expand our expenses and sometimes we need to expand our expenses before we even start spending our assets column, because we need to have an expense that will allow us to start a business. So we need to create that expense. So we need to expand our expenses. We need to expand our liabilities, our assets column, right? And our income column. Specifically, we want to focus on building passive income. So that income can come in three ways. Can come in earned income, passive income, or capital gains income. We want to focus on passive income, all right? And then we're going to get capital gains income as well. That's a guarantee, because once we achieve passive income, we will know that some asset classes will not bring in passive income, but we will have to invest in those asset classes, because that's how we protect ourselves from down economies and hedge for inflation by diversifying among the 5 different asset classes that exist, which are 1, business, number 2, real estate, number 3, crypto, number 4, paper assets, number 5, commodities. Focus on diversifying. So as we get positive cash flow from one business, that surplus is treated as an expense, as an investing expense. So we have already designated that money to go into work in an asset that we have done due diligence on. Due diligence are the second most important words in the business language. The first ones are cash flow. So make sure that we do our due diligence and that the business must have cash flow, right? That's the blood of the business. At best, this advice is annoying and blatantly misleading for the simple reason that they have been told to a lot of people choose to do nothing and let others handle their finances. The advice that people tell others to reduce their expenses, add funds to their 401k, which are fake assets, live below their means, right? To shrink. That's the majority of advice. Financial gurus, which are really salespeople, they tell the world and they tell their followers to build wealth that way. And it's not how you build wealth. We actually have to expand. We cannot live below our means. We have to live above our means. We need to expand our expenses column. Not all expenses are bad. And if we want to expense that is just a liability, we need to focus on building an asset, like I mentioned earlier, to pay for that liabilities cost. And it will be free at the end because we're not paying for it. The asset is the business revenue. It's bringing in the money to pay for that. So it's free at the end for us. Okay, and that's where we want to be in life. Position ourselves legally and ethically with businesses and investments that brings us positive cash flow and capital gains income so that we can pay for all of our liabilities and expenses in our lives. That way it's free, everything that we do. We can't just sit around hoping for things to change these days. We have to be involved. We have to take action. To begin, adopt a new way of thinking, consider this. Where can we get a better return on our money if we're only receiving 1% interest on our savings? This is where our investment strategies journey starts. Many people get happy when they get a new job offer, and yeah, I don't see them being happy about starting their own business and brand to the world. Every second and day counts. The difference between the wealthy and the poor is the way we spend our time. The wealthy, we focus on building and working for passive income, while the poor mindset works for high earned income through jobs as employees and self-employed. Surround ourselves with wealthy entrepreneurs and inside investors to become wealthy. We can't hang out around with those that are only speaking about working hard for earned income, saving fake money, and investing in fake assets like 401k, mutual funds, IRA, and others alike. Those who only operate on the left side of the cash flow circle will remain on the left side of the cash flow circle without the ability to experience total freedom. We must choose our partners and people we spend our time with wisely. The people we hang around with and spend our time holds our future. Now, there's nothing wrong with the people on the left side of the cash flow circle. However, when we're building our wealth, we need to allocate our time wisely. We need to be unapologetically. We cannot spend time talking to somebody that is in a different mindset. Remember, it's day and night. That's why there's two types of mindset when it comes to money, the poor and the wealthy mindset, right? And so we cannot eat from both. I mean, we could be successfully in all of them. Actually, there are people that are successful in all of the roles of the four players of the cash flow circle. They are employees, they are self-employed, they have a business, and they have investments. So you could be all of them, but it's up to the individual what we want out of life, right? We don't all want the same thing. So we need to choose whether we want total freedom and what is the lifestyle that we want to live so that we can create the passive income to pay for that lifestyle so that we can enjoy the lifestyle with the people that we truly love in our lives, okay? And of course, making a good impact in the world. Investing is an expedition. We gain knowledge while we become investors. We gain some practical experience that teaches us something we wouldn't otherwise know. We all make errors and grow from them. As we gain experience, we also make an increasing number of blunders. Our skills, abilities, and confidence all expand during this process, not to mention the expansion of our financial statements. Chasing our investing strategy is similar to life in many ways. It is a journey with ups and downs, happiness and sadness. It is always a journey worth going in the end. The journey itself is the price. The journey is even more significant than the destination. That's the crucial element. The true value is in who we become along the way. from all the mistakes and learning and experience. Consider every opportunity we have to learn more about finance as future cash in our pocket. According to an ancient Chinese saying, the journey is the reward, and the trip is worthwhile because of that reward. Intelligence available to wealth, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. We have to focus on all of those intelligence because that is how we will maintain and keep our wealth growing, is by having control. And that's what requires us to be 100% healthy, to be in the best shape that we can be mentally, physically, right? Spiritually, emotionally. Take charge of our financial destiny. This brings us to our financial piece of advice. Don't allow anyone else complete this task for us. Far too many individuals depend on the gossip they hear on TV, what they read in publications, and what their friends tells them, or even their parents. We have to put in the work for ourselves if we want to learn the truth about money, success, or anything else in life. Nobody's going to assist us with it. Yes, it can seem simpler to follow the herd and listen to a credible financial expert on television. Ask our sister, best friend, or other trusted family member for guidance, or just follow the crowd. Everybody is preoccupied with work, caring for loved ones, cleaning, cooking, bills, and so on. However, we lose control if we allow someone else to decide on important matters for us. This implies that we are not truly aware of what is happening with our finances. Will they receive their next paycheck in order to cover their expenses? Are people truly using their 401k or IRA to help them plan for their retirement? What occurs if the employees become ill and are unable to work? This is a tough situation. Don't they already have enough stress in their life? It requires more work, but to not only survive in this day and age, but to prosper, we must become financially educated. Gain more knowledge to take charge and lessen our stress. Cut out the justifications about not having enough money, intelligence, time, etc. All we have to do is start with these easy actions. Number one, we should be skeptical of everything we read, hear, and see in the media, as well as what financial advisors and gossip in our community are telling us. Investigate their claims and see whether they have any ulterior motive by conducting some investigation or due diligence. Number two, learn what is actually happening in the world by reading media that we have never looked at before. Take a look at The Economist, for example, the Wall Street Journal, Drudge Report, Business Week, The Week, Bert Domains, the Wellington Letter, Master Investors newsletter, Financial Education news section, and all other news and finance sites available. We will become more receptive to various viewpoints, objectives, information, and figures. Remember, as a wealth entrepreneur, we must become a generalist, meaning that we know a little bit about everything, not specialists. Specialists, they focus on becoming specialized in one topic, knowing everything about that. So as a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, we must be generalists. Number three, allocate a specific period of time every day to focus on our financial strategy, determine our goals, and a plan for achieving them in life. Next, set aside time every day to carry out our plan. Nothing happens if nothing is done. As we can see, we're displaying the cash flow pattern of the wealthy class. We focus on the asset column. We can witness the income statement, the balance sheet, right? And then inside the income statement, we find the income column, the expense column. And then on the balance sheet, we have the assets column, we have the liabilities column, and then we have the cash flow going from the income, right? Coming in from the assets column to the income column, and then it's flowing down to the liabilities column, up the expenses column, and a lot of those expenses will go back into our assets column, because remember, as a wealthy entrepreneur, we can always turn a liability into our asset, right? So we can turn a liability on our financial statement into an asset in many instances. Okay, so majority of times we will end up turning that liability that we acquire into an asset. So our expenses really become investments into our assets column. It goes back into our assets column. And at the end, everything is free. Like I mentioned, we're literally printing money from thin air. It's called infinite return on investment. That's when we have no money of our own into the investments that we are controlling, and those investments is still producing passive income or positive cash flow, and sometimes capital gains income. Okay. However, we have recouped the entire capital back already, and we still control them. Okay. Or we finance the entire deal with other people's money with 100% finance with good debt. Okay. So in the financial statement of the wealthy, positive cash flow comes from passive income and capital gains income that we control with our company. So that's what we focus on. Okay. On the asset column, we build it, we nurture it, and we continue to invest on and compound those assets. Begin our adventure now. Today is the day to begin our journey. We will make mistakes on it, some of them very big ones. If we don't pay attention, we will face difficulties in many occasions. We will experience scary times. For many, our character will be put to the test on occasions. We won't advance, though, if we back away from the task. We are not going to learn. We also stand to lose anything. Therefore, we must attack our fears. We must persevere through difficult times. We must get up again. And if we love it enough, we will be able to continue moving forward. So make sure that we choose our activities wisely, and we have an investment strategy put down on paper. It doesn't have to be long. It can be short. But let's write more of our ideas down and plan deadlines and due dates so that we can have a track of our improvements. Thus, this is the day that our journey should begin. Always keep our hands inside the car and fasten our seatbelt. It promises to be an amazing, rocky ride. Follow the cash flow triangle. The cash flow triangle is the key to building wealth with our businesses. Every successful business that exists in the world has the integrities of the cash flow triangle. Start using the integrities to determine the value of an existing business or investment, and help us build a successful business from scratch by following the integrities found inside the cash flow triangle. As we can see, the integrities are mission, team, leadership, cash flow, communications, systems, legal, product. Every big business starts small and with writing an investment strategy down. Applying the strategy requires discipline and courage, as we may encounter obstacles that can be overcome with persevering. The only way we will be able to do that is if we have chosen our why we do things properly. Our whys provide the reason and the strength to keep going and stay focused on the mission of our business and nurture our business daily. Our businesses are loyal to us, and they can become angels for others' lives too. When we build a business and a brand, we are doing so for others and not only for us. Because if it is just for us, then it is only a hobby and not a real business. A business is built to solve a problem in the world. Finally, the question is, which problem do we want to solve? Put an investment strategy down and execute. Small daily steps count tremendously after consistently doing them for long periods of time. Focus on our networks and businesses. Let's invest today, as it is easier than ever before to do it with success due to access to all the information we wish to learn for free. Start investing in high quality financial education by reading our financial ebooks. I hope that you enjoyed today's talk on an investment strategy is the first step on the path to financial freedom. Let me know your comments below. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're here to help all of us build true wealth. Bring you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Talk to you on the next talk. Bye for now. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. All right. Perfect. All right, so make sure you click the link in the description to join our inner circle. Go to our website, subscribe to the channel here. I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the growth, and all the people supporting our community and building wealth together, because we're literally given the ultra wealthy mindset in different products so that we can all duplicate how the wealthy invest. Okay, and it's all about taking action. It's about being active investors, and about giving our money away to somebody to invest it for us, because we don't learn anything when we do that. Let's take control of our finances and start by understanding our personal financial statement. So go ahead and click the link in the description so that you can join How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet, Turn Passive Income On. We have the 10 new rules of money and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain. We're working on our 4th ebook. It should be released in the next month or so. Stay tuned. It's going to be called How to Raise Capital to Build Wealth. Everything that we do here is to raise our financial IQ. That way we have more financial intelligence to solve financial problems, starting with our financial problem. And that way we create one problem when it comes to money in our lives, which is the problem of having too much money coming in, having excess of positive cash flow from our assets that we are controlling. 2 types of problem when it comes to money: the lack of money and too much money. We want to have too much money, and that type of problem is found on the right side of the cash flow circle. So start investing today. Put your investment strategy down. Let me know what you think of today's talk, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you for having me again, and I appreciate you spending time with me on this amazing